In early 2024, I was looking into building a proper standalone NAS, or a network-attached storage server for my homelab. The small 1 terabyte free NAS system I threw together, made of parts from my first gaming computer, was suboptimal. It was slow, not very power efficient, and had 4 used 2.5-inch hard drives, each with 500 gigs. At the time, it was enough to store some data and mess around with network storage. But my home lab got bigger, and so did my data. I finally realized that this was not going to be enough and decided to map out a proper NAS for my home lab. I started doing a lot of research on network-attached storage. I got excited watching videos of crazy NAS builds from popular tech YouTubers, with blazing fast read and write speeds, very large storage pools, lots of RAM, and high core count CPUs. But knowing that I had a tight budget, I would have to sacrifice a lot of the premium features that these builds had. Late in 2024, I stumbled across a YouTube channel that was experimenting with power-efficient home lab builds. This piqued my interest. Trying to find a balance between power efficiency and good performance is a really neat idea. I don't have a need for super fast NAS storage. 1 gigabit is fast enough for what I'm doing in my home lab, and it would be a machine that runs almost 24/7, except for power outages. I really should get a UPS for my home lab. Having a power-efficient NAS would be better for my electric bill as well. I did a lot of research trying to find power-efficient and cost-effective components for this build. I ended up deciding on this CWWK Chinese-made system board with an Intel N100 12th Gen CPU. The CPU has 4 cores. They can turbo up to 3.4 gigahertz, can draw a max of 25 watts, and at idle draw only 6 watts. At the time of recording this, the manufacturer's website has this board listed as sold out. I'm not sure if it's even being made anymore. There are similar boards on the site that are, however, available. I thought this would be a great base for a power-efficient NAS. The CPU can only support 16 gigabytes of DDR5, so I splurged and got 16 gigs. Now for the storage, I knew my 4 salvaged laptop drives I was using were not going to cut it. So I decided on getting new drives. I went with 2 4 terabyte Seagate Ironwolf NAS drives. I also had acquired 2 4 terabyte drives that I could use as well. I put all 4 of them into a striped mirror, or a RAID 10 equivalent. This seemed to be a pretty good balance between speed and redundancy. I did give up some storage space for better redundancy though. I did need to add a NVMe to SATA adapter. This was needed to connect more SATA devices, like the SATA SSD I have for a boot drive. It's not a great solution, but it does work. I also got new SATA cables. The cables are thin and bundled together. Not only do they look good, they also reduce the amount of cables in the case. I already had a spare ATX power supply. It's a 750 watt semi-modular one. 750 watt is a little overkill, but it works. Lastly, the case I got was the Rosewell R4000U. It's a 4U rack mount case, providing a lot of room for storage, and it can also fit mini ATX motherboards. Some of the components I bought were on sale at the time of buying them, making this build right around the $500 mark. The cost for this DIY build, compared to the NAS systems that are available from companies like Synology, QNAP, and Ugreen, would in my case be more expensive. My cost savings for this build was mainly attributed to already having some spare parts that could be used. I ended up putting TrueNAS Core in this system, and so far it's been rock solid. In 2 years, the only unexpected downtime was due to power outages, and when the power was restored, it came back online without a hitch. Using a basic watt meter, the average power consumption was around 40 watts. Compared to the constant 100 to 150 watts my previous system was consuming, this was a pretty good reduction. Being that my home lab network is only 1 gigabit, transferring at a near constant 1 gigabit is good enough for moving multiple small files. While larger files take longer, I very rarely move files larger than a few gigs anyways. The read and write performance is good enough for my home lab. This video was not meant to be a guide on how to build a NAS for yourself. There are plenty of resources for that already on the internet. This video was more of a way to document my NAS project in a more informal way. Anyways, thanks for watching.